The Sony Xperia P sits in between the high-end Xperia S and the cheaper, more streetwise Xperia U, and like its siblings, it's immediately recognisable by this distinctive clear plastic panel which houses the touch-sensitive back, home and menu buttons. Its function is fundamentally flawed though by the fact that the lights only come on once touched, then they're out again. Motion activated would have course been a lot better to save you from fumbling around in the dark for that designated button. But at least touching the actual icon activates the button. On the Xperia S, you have to touch above it. Now when it comes to design, this is one solid mobile. It has an aluminium unibody design that's only 10.5mm thick. The Xperia P is also powered by a dual-core 1GHz processor, which does a pretty decent job of trucking along. Next to the 1.5GHz Xperia S, there's apparently no difference opening and closing apps, loading web pages and carrying out similar tasks. Videos begin playing quicker on the S and apps install marginally faster, but to call the P slower would be way off the mark. It does lack the PlayStation certified branding, which probably has a lot to do with its processor. Now, like all Xperias, it currently ships with Android 2.3 Gingerbread, but an ice cream sandwich upgrade is due any day. Now, the 4-inch 950 by 540 pixel screen is super crisp, helped by Sony's classy OS skin. In fact, the Xperia P is a multimedia marvel. The 8-megapixel photos are up there with the best, and there's plenty of effects to sink your teeth into. But best of all, it has a dedicated camera button and goes from sleep to snap within around a second between shots, but it does require a pretty hard push. Movie watching is an equally awesome experience, but the only caveat, there's no SD card slot. The built-in 16GB is your lot. On the connectivity front, an HDMI output and NFC take the lead, and yes, there is an HDMI cable in the box. Sony has also included a few NFC tags, so just like we've seen with the Xperia S, you can assign profiles to different tags to make your smartphone experience just that little bit more hassle-free. It's a Sony phone, so that of course means the Xperia P has been packed with all kinds of Sony goodies like Music and Video Unlimited, Timescape and Facebook Inside Xperia. And when it comes to battery life, the Xperia P will stretch to about a day and a bit or 3 to 4 hours of constant video streaming with all the screen wizardry switched on. So the Xperia P is well made, decently spec'd and desirable. And because of the screen size and the location of the front mounted buttons, it's also the most ergonomic of the Xperias as well. But for an extra £35, you can bag yourself the Xperia S. So with that in mind, it's fair to say the Xperia P is hardly a viable mid-price alternative, and you'd be pretty silly to turn down double the storage, a bigger screen and a much faster processor, all for the sake of ergonomics and the price of a night out.